Welcome back to Organize with Grace podcast. If you're ready to declutter your life and home so that you can make room for peace in your heart, you're in the right place. Join me, Grace Ramon, your host and home organizer, where I and my guests share tips and encouragement to help you get started, especially when you don't know where to start. I'm here with you as you begin your decluttering journey, so let's get going. You ready? Hi, long time no chat. I did not abandon you nor this podcast, and I'm here to tell you that with this really quick episode. Life has been happening lately in many good ways, and so I'm so glad to come back on here and hopefully um, really get some momentum with putting out more podcast episodes for you. I've missed you, and I have been doing my own decluttering lately. So, what did I declutter? Uh, First thing is social media. I have removed the social media apps from my phone. It's been a couple of months since I started to do that, both Facebook and Instagram, which are the two things to social media platforms that I used to be on a lot. And I even decluttered or stopped listening to podcasts for a little while. And I have still been listening to audiobooks, but why did I do all this? And first of all, it didn't happen overnight. It was like a progression, just like decluttering. It takes time to do it, and it just takes some effort and some strong conviction of why you want to do what you want to do. And why I decided to be less on social media and to listen less to podcasts and audiobooks is because I felt like I was hearing way too many different voices and opinions, and that I needed to sit with myself. I needed to sit with God and just to get clear on the direction that overall my life is going, the directions that my business is going. And business is still open, by the way. I am still very active with Organize with Grace, with in person organizing, and I'm currently putting together some packages for you for online, for virtual organizing. So going back, there was just too much. Too many things that I was listening to, too many things that I was reading that it was time to declutter, declutter all of that. I have a 5-year-old who I want to spend more quality time with, and I wanted to have a better relationship with him, better relationship with my husband than my phone or even my business. And I want to give you a quote heading into the episode that says, "He who has a why to live can bear with almost any how." It's so hard to unpack that one line. Isn't that amazing? It's just like one sentence. So I'm going to read it again. He who has a why to live can bear with almost any how. When I started this podcast, my why wasn't so clear. I wanted to start my own thing. I was getting sick and tired of my job of so many years. At that time, I had been in the job for 15 years, and I felt like, oh wow, podcasting is it. This is going to be my ticket to success. And then I joined coaching programs, and then I bought um, courses, and thinking that all of those things were going to help me be successful in this business. And going back to the podcasting, I just went at it. I just took action, which was great. I mean, forward action, sometimes when you don't know what you're doing, you just got to go for it. And I'm glad I did. But it got difficult when I didn't know why I was doing it. Why was I really podcasting? Why did I start my podcast? Why do I want to continue the podcast? So, asking ourselves why first, I believe when it comes to anything that we start, whether it be a business or simply decluttering, is really truly important because our why will be what will help us get over the tough times. We've got to get back to why we wanted to declutter. Is it because you're tired of the mess and you want to be able to have a more peaceful um, home, less cluttered home, so that you can think, so that you can consider it as like when you come home, it's like your own personal oasis? Do you want to declutter because you want to finally find your keys whenever you head out the door and that you don't have to go digging through everything? I wanted to come on to say that this is the journey that I'm going through and going back on, is really getting clear on why I have this podcast and why I want to continue with it. Because part of it is I tried to be like, well, I'll get on whenever I get on. But I felt restless. I felt like, you know what? I started this podcast and do I do I quit it because it's getting too hard? But I love it at the same time. I love interacting with you. I love hearing from you. And so I had to get really quiet and I had to get really clear. I mean, and not clear like, oh, I know how it's going to turn out and I'm going to do this podcast because I know that it's going to give me like success. It's not about that. It's more like clear about the next step. And I want to transfer it back to decluttering. Sometimes we get overwhelmed because we, one, just want to get it over with. And we see those Instagram reels or whatever, all those pictures of the before and after. I love the before and afters. I love the sped up um, videos of like how messy the place looks, and then they do all the things to declutter it and organize it, and at the end it looks beautiful. But it doesn't really tell the whole story. It doesn't tell you how tough it was emotionally and physically to get that place to it um where it is, to get it to the point where it is organized for that person, to get it to the point where you've decluttered all the things that don't belong in that place. And it takes work. And in this instant society, um, it's no wonder why we get discouraged if it gets harder as we go. It's no wonder we get discouraged that, our closets look the same after a few hours of working on it. And then we're like, oh, what's the use? Um, Whereas if you had just kept going another 3 hours, or if you had just kept going for 15 minutes a day, whatever is easy for you, that you would get to that point where your space is gets finished, gets decluttered, to the point where it's satisfying and you're able to see what you have. So for those of you who are searching for like the how, and we always are, we're searching for the how to get organized. There's so many videos out there. There's like YouTube videos of how showing you how to declutter a pantry, a closet, things like that. There will always be resources on the how. I'm here to give you the how. You can work with me one on one so that we can create a personal plan for you so that you can finally get that room or get that space decluttered and organized. And I can give you all that. But the first step is asking yourself why you want to do that in the first place. Why do you want to declutter that space? Why do you want to go ahead and refresh your closet? And so ask yourself, why? And I would challenge you and I would encourage you to write it down and don't edit yourself, and simply ask yourself, why do I want to do this? Why am I listening to Organize with Grace? Why do I want to declutter? And why do I want to get organized? And then we will go from there. And we'll take the steps necessary to go from why, and the how I will provide it for you. And I have provided it for you through these podcasts, but I'll continue to do that. But it's really, really important to figure out your why. And I hope that you do. And I know that you can, just like the process I'm going through again with this podcast. Why? Why do I want to continue with this podcast? And why is it important to me? And sometimes it's not an easy question to answer. Sometimes you might have to take about 5-10 minutes to do it. But I guarantee you that it will be worthwhile. It will be beneficial before you get started, before you physically get started with the space that you want to declutter. So tell me, what is your why? And you could email me and let me know at hello@organizewithgrace.com. I would love to know, and I want you to put your why out there and provide yourself that opportunity to move forward from your why. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you again soon. By the way, today is my birthday. I am 46 today, June 23rd. And for you who are listening to this part, the very last part of this podcast, congratulations, because if you are the first one to email me about what your why is, I will provide you a free 30-minute coaching time to get you going on your decluttering journey. So hurry up and email me your why. And if you're the first one to email me, congratulations, you will receive a free 30-minute coaching time with me. We're going to do it through Zoom and get to talk about your plans. So again, tell me your why through email, hello@organizewithgrace.com. And I cannot wait to meet with you and to help you get going on your decluttering journey. So get that why written down and sent to me, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Bye.